Welcome to the deep dive. We dig through the sources, find those crucial bits, and, well, give you the shortcut to really knowing what's going on. Today, we're doing something pretty unique, a deep exploration to who Jesus really was, his mission, but seen through this cosmic lens from the Urantia book, specifically paper 119. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission here is to get a handle on Jesus as Michael of Nebodon, that's a creator son, and to see how these things called bestowals show a purpose way beyond, the usual earthly story. It really sheds light on our own path, spiritually speaking.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is that these paradise sons, like Michael, they just inherently reflect their divine parents, God the Father and God the Son. Their nature is just fundamentally love, mercy, understanding, righteousness. It's baked in. And it's worth remembering the eternal Son actually set the precedent for these bestowals. He incarnated 7 times himself across the universe. Michael of Nebodon, our creator son, he's basically following that same path.
Something that really jumped out at me from the source material was this. Creator sons like Michael, they don't just show up looking like us. They actually appear in forms that fit the local planet or system they're visiting. So you have Michael was human here on Earth, obviously. But on other worlds, they might look completely alien, like nothing like a human at all. So what does this all mean? For you listening, well, picture this. Maybe someday, when you get to the mansion world, you start exploring out there. You could actually meet beings who represent Jesus or maybe other creator sons in forms that are, well, totally unexpected from our earthly view. Maybe human-like, maybe wildly different.
And the reason for 7 bestowals? It's quite deep. It's not just showing up. Each one is a specific incarnation, a real learning experience. It's a critical part of their mission. It lets them get, firsthand experience of what life is like for the beings they've created, whether they're angels or mortals like us or these Morantia beings in between. And there's this really serious oath they take voluntarily. They basically promise not to take full charge, full sovereignty of their universes until they've successfully done all 7 bestowals. It's a sacred thing. It ensures they really get it, True understanding and empathy for every kind of life they're responsible for.
And the timescale for this,
Yeah.
it's just mind-boggling. Nearly 1 billion Urantia years for Michael of Nebodon to complete this whole process.
Yeah.
1 billion years. Wow. Certainly puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Our little planet, Urantia. It's actually famous, apparently, throughout our local universe, Nebodon. Famous is the place where Michael finished it all, where he completed that 7th bestowal and earned his full sovereignty right here. Okay, so let's tackle a big one. A common idea about Jesus. Contrary to, well, some very popular beliefs, the main point of his mission wasn't actually saving humanity from sin through, like, a sacrifice.
Right. His purpose was broader, much broader. It was really about showing the way, illuminating the path to spiritual growth, spiritual ascension for everyone. And crucially for him, it was about finishing his own journey, completing that 7th and final bestowal, finishing his own sort of cosmic education and experience as a creator son. This whole journey meant living through the real struggles, the challenges of all sorts of different life forms. That's how you cultivate true mercy, real understanding, justice, wisdom. It's like experiential learning for divine rulership. Now, these bestowals, they aren't strictly needed just to run the universe efficiently, but they are absolutely vital for ruling with fairness, with mercy, with genuine understanding. By actually living the lives of imperfect beings, creator sons develop patience, sympathy. It makes them better sovereigns, more effective leaders. Think about it. Jesus lived as a carpenter, a regular mortal man here, but his other bestowals involved being various kinds of spiritual beings too. He got the full picture.
And it's amazing how each of these 7 bestowals connects back to the Paradise Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Spirit. There's this chart in the book, the bestowal deity chart. It maps it out. It's like a divine curriculum. Can you maybe walk us through 1 or 2 of those connections, something that really highlights how the Trinity fits into this?
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. The 4th bestowal is quite revealing. That's when Michael came as a seraphim. And the chart says he was subject to the will of the Son and the Spirit then. It shows how even these beings, seraphim, created by the Mother Spirit, they're still deeply connected into the Eternal Son's whole spiritual administration. It's all interconnected. And then maybe jump to the 7th bestowal, that's Jesus, here on earth. He was subject directly to the will of the Universal Father, which, clicks perfectly with how often he spoke about doing the will of my Father in the New Testament.
Right, that makes sense.
So these experiences, they give creator sons this experiential wisdom, passion, patience, mercy, justice stuff you just can't get from theory alone. And ultimately, all that hard-won wisdom gets accumulated, passed up, and contributes to the growth of the Supreme Being through the Master Spirits.
And it's that kind of wisdom, isn't it? The kind you get from dealing with imperfection that brings us to thinking about our own planet right now, and maybe why our messy experiences here are actually valuable.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at Earth, especially over the last century or so, there's been a pretty stark moral decline in some ways. Widespread deceit, corruption, things like child abductions, things that really were almost unthinkable just a few generations back. This whole situation kind of highlighted why the Urantia book revelation was needed when it came back in the 30s, before a lot of the post-World War II changes really took hold. And you can even draw a parallel, a sobering one, to the Lucifer Rebellion. When a creator's son or other high beings fail to uphold their responsibilities like Lucifer did, it can lead to being cut off. Cosmic quarantine. Remember those 86 planets that followed Lucifer? And the book mentions Van and Amadon experiencing a 7-year communication blackout because the celestial circuits were severed after that rebellion.
Which raises an important question, doesn't it? If Earth was under some kind of quarantine because of past rebellions, what about now? Especially with all the reports since 1947 maybe about UFOs, potential extraterrestrial contact, has that quarantine been lifted?
That's the big question. We don't know for sure. It's possible some limited communication is happening, maybe preparation is underway, but full restoration of those main celestial broadcasts, that doesn't seem to be confirmed yet.
It does make you wonder, though, could things like, say, that CE5 app people talk about, teaching meditation to contact ETs, could that be part of a sort of preparation, getting us ready for a time when maybe that celestial broadcast happens where every eye shall see and every ear shall hear, as the book puts it?
It's certainly food for thought.
And it definitely underlines that Urantia book, teaching that reality isn't just material, it's fundamentally spiritual.
And bringing this all back down to earth, back to you listening. Our experiences here, especially the tough stuff, the moral struggles, they're actually incredibly valuable preparation, training almost, for higher spiritual roles later on. Why is our planet's mess potentially valuable? Well, because Earth has seen some really intense corruption and suffering in politics, religion, philosophy, science, you name it. So people who manage to navigate that, to endure and grow through it all, they become uniquely equipped. Really valuable teachers and guides on the mansion world. You learn patience and understanding by dealing with imperfection, right?
Right. So imagine arriving in those mansion worlds, carrying the wisdom you gained, just navigating the complexities of life here on Earth. You could become a teacher, a guide, someone known for patience and mercy because you've lived through the opposite. So the practical takeaway here is strive for perfection, but not perfection like being flawless, more like continuous growth, growing in love and mercy and understanding. That's what prepares us for the journey ahead. And honestly, it makes us better citizens right here, right now, by upholding some moral standards.
And just to give a little more context on the timescale, Nabadon, our local universe, it's relatively young, cosmically speaking. Michael's actually the 611,121st creator son to take charge of a local universe, so there are many others. Right now, Nabadon has about 619 inhabited planets, apparently, with maybe 300 more expected down the line. Michael started organizing things here maybe 400 billion years ago. His first bestowal, that was around 1 billion years ago, roughly when Urantia itself was forming. And these bestowals were spaced out maybe 150 million years apart on average, with the 7th, the final one, Jesus on Earth, happening just 1900, 2000 years ago. And it's mentioned this information is given as fully as my commission permits, which suggests, as we evolve and understand more, there will probably be more revelations needed in the future.
So the bottom line from that timeline is probably no dramatic imminent return of Jesus expected, tomorrow. Don't hold your breath, so to speak. But, and this is crucial, that doesn't lessen the importance one bit of living a good life now, trying to emulate that perfection, that love that Jesus talked about.
Absolutely. The focus remains on our own growth and living according to those divine values.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the core takeaway from paper 119 seems pretty clear. Jesus' mission wasn't about condemnation. It was about revelation, showing a path forward towards spiritual progress, universal harmony. These bestowals, they paint a picture of a creator son who is deeply connected to all his creations, learning with them, growing alongside them, a journey of incredible empathy. So our final thought for you to consider is this: keep seeking truth, love generously, walk your own spiritual path with courage, with hope, focus on that continuous growth in love, mercy, understanding, because that ongoing development, that's your real preparation for the amazing, long, and profound spiritual journey that lies ahead.